What's going on, guys, girls? Rob here with you this morning. Eating a little bit of bread and taking a look at some possible lines for these semifinal games. Okay. I'm going to write them down whichever way. It's got to be one way or the other. First off, I'll put Alabama, Cincinnati, and we'll put Georgia, Michigan. Now, in the case it could be the another way around, we'll put Alabama, Michigan, Georgia, Cincinnati. And then in the case it could be the other way around. Let's say Alabama, Georgia, Michigan, Cincinnati. I think it's the least likely way it'll be. I really do. I actually think it'll be Alabama, Cincinnati. Okay? And we're obviously looking at, okay, what's the point spread going to look like? Okay? Vegas wants it. What you do is this. This is the easiest way to come up with a point spread. If you were going to allow somebody to gamble against your money, what would be your dead level most points you'd give to a favorite? Okay? That's pretty much the way it works, guys, because they don't want to undersell themselves or oversell themselves. They want it as close to what you think it would be, or at least close to what the betting public would think. So I've got my thoughts on it. If we can get Keith or Harris or somebody in here this morning, that'd be great. But who's in here now with us? Got one person in here now with us. Eating me a piece of bread. This is what I'm doing, in case anybody's asking. It's looking like a SEC possible final to me, so let's get the red going, right? Let's have the red showing off this morning. Yeah, let's do that. Or would that be better? Probably that. All right. So we'll do that. We'll show the red off. Sure looks like an Alabama, maybe Georgia final to me, but look, if Georgia plays the way they did yesterday and Michigan plays the way they did yesterday, and what's Sports Time Machine? I agree. So this is what I'm thinking is going to happen. This is what and so you think Michigan will be 4. I actually think Cincinnati is going to be 4. I think it's going to be Alabama, Michigan, Georgia, Cincinnati. So, in the likelihood, I got my sump pump going off. I want to make sure it goes off right. It did. It did fine. All right. So, let me tell you the point spreads that I see. Okay? Well, they'll give point spreads out at 1 p.m. today, 1:30, something like that. So let's just say Alabama's 1 and Cincinnati is a 4. Or Alabama is a 4, Cincinnati is a 1. Whichever way you want to look at it. Which Alabama's not going to be a 4 now. Okay? All right. So I'm going to tell what's up, Keith. What's going on, my friend?
I just got up.
Yeah, I hadn't been up too long myself. My wife's she's been on the road for a while this morning. I'm going to give you guys my point spreads. Okay? And then you can tell me if you think it's too much or too little. Alabama, Cincinnati. If today they put the line up, Alabama minus 18. Alabama minus 18.
Against Cincinnati?
Against Cincinnati. And then Georgia, Michigan. I got Georgia -2.
18. I don't know. It might be even more than that.
It could be. It could be. Harris said 24. I just don't know. I just don't know if the betting public can really get into a semifinal matchup where it would be that much.
I think it would be about. I think Harris might be just a tad over, but I'm thinking like 21 or 22.
You think so? Okay. All
Yeah.
right. Oh, what about you, Mike? I'm saying 18 to start would be the opening line. I don't know. Now,
Michigan, Georgia. I think Georgia's favored probably by
I said 2 points.
2 points.
That's what I say.
I think it'll be more than that.
Really? Did you see Michigan put the whipping on Iowa last night?
Yeah.
They ran them over. And I'm telling you, I think that might be a prescription to beat Georgia. Run it at them. Now the problem is if they start putting 8 in the box, can Michigan throw the ball? Not like Alabama. That's for damn sure. So that might end up being a problem. But
I think Georgia would probably be about 5.
It'd be a 5. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, let's flip the script. Let's say Alabama, Michigan. I will say Alabama will be a 14-point favorite straight up against Michigan right now. I really do. Michigan. And Mike says he thinks it would be 21 with Alabama, Cincinnati, and such 7 with Georgia, Michigan. Georgia, Cincinnati. I think probably Georgia would be at least 12-point favorites. That's what I think. It would be touchdown. It might be 14 in both of those games. But Alabama, Michigan might be a stretch for 14. It might not be quite that much. It might be 10.
Yeah.
But I don't. Huh?
Georgia, Cincinnati. I think Georgia maybe 11 or something like that.
11. Okay, I said 12. And then Alabama, Michigan. Is there any chance Alabama's a 2-touchdown favorite against them?
Probably just under that. Just under. I'd say maybe
12?
12 to 13, yeah.
Okay, I said 14 there. Now, in the unlikely, this is the least likely scenario, if Alabama has to play Georgia. I think that's the least likely scenario. If that happens, I'm going to tell you right now, they're not going to be 10-point favorites. Not against Georgia the second time around. What's up, Bleacher Bums? Bleacher Bums, you got yourself an invite, too. Come right on in with us. I'm going to say Alabama would be only an 8-point favorite against Georgia.
That sounds about right.
You think that's about right? Michigan against Cincinnati. Michigan against Cincinnati. I would give Michigan a 10-point favorite just because they can run a football.
I think it'd be a little under 10.
A little under 10, you think?
Yeah, maybe about 7 or maybe about a touchdown.
All right.
Or just over 7 and a hook, maybe.
All right. So.
Hi, Anthony.
Let's put Keith down. All right. Alabama, Cincinnati. Did you say 21?
Put 21 and a hook, just so I'm kind of like between 21
and a hook. Okay, for Bama.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Georgia, Michigan.
Yeah, I said I think I was thinking about Georgia.
Is it a touchdown?
Well, I'd go with whatever I said before, but I don't even remember what that was now because I was kind of.
Do you think they're a touchdown better?
Georgia? Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Alabama, Michigan. Would it be? You said 21.5 against Cincinnati. Would it be that much against Michigan?
No.
2 touchdowns? Or less than 2 touchdowns or more than 2 touchdowns?
I think probably about 13.
13. All right.
Yeah.
In Georgia and Cincinnati, you like Georgia.
Yeah.
And would that be 2 touchdowns?
I think it'd be a little less than that.
10?
See, I just said with these, I kind of felt good when I was saying it before, but I might say something different now. Georgia, Cincinnati. I think at Georgia's probably about 12.
12.
Yes.
And that's exactly what I got right there.
Yeah.
And then Alabama, Georgia. Second time around, though.
Yeah, I think that would probably be about 7.
7. Okay, I'll put 8. And then Michigan, Cincinnati.
Yeah, I'd go with Michigan probably by about. Now we're trying to predict the lines.
Right. We're not saying what we think they're going to win. We're saying we're trying to predict what Vegas is thinking. Not so much what we think. Yeah.
Yeah. So
is Michigan 2 touchdowns better than Cincinnati?
Well, I think that the way that Vegas would look at it would probably be probably about, let's say 8.5.
8.5. Okay. Right.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. Yeah. I look forward to seeing what Anthony has to say.
I'm trying to
get in the heads of other people.
Well, no, it's not just that. I was trying to remember what I said before because I think when you first asked me, I was probably giving you better answers. Now it's kind of like I'm trying to digest what everybody else was saying and then trying to remember, and then it's just rather than just thinking about it more as objectively as I was.
Good morning, Anthony.
And hold on, my camera's jacked up. Hold on.
Boy,
really, whatever. If you go back and listen to it, whatever I said at the beginning,
okay,
those lines, I'll go with it.
All right, so I'll switch them back.
Yeah.
Anthony, good morning, man. 6 o'clock where he's at, or 7 o'clock.
Hi, Anthony.
And he's got a hood on, so he's either been running or it's raining.
Yeah, and he's dancing with us right now.
Oh, it's cold as hell there, he said.
I feel like I'm out on the dance floor and he's twirling me.
It's cold as hell there. Now I'll bet it's 50 degrees there.
Yeah, so
that ain't fucking cold. That ain't fucking cold, dude. I just got off the phone. We got off the hook with Paul Govier Friday, and Paul was like, "We're gonna get some snow this weekend and all this shit up in Shetland Islands." Man, he was an excellent interview. If you hadn't seen it, you gotta watch that.
Anthony,
he's such a cool dude.
Anthony, what if you don't mind, just for a moment? What are you doing with the dead ball era on your channel? What is it?
Oh, it's the PC replay game. I picked that up over Black Friday, and I like the cards and dice version, and it's actually a really good port because it just plays so smooth. So yeah, I'm doing 8 different dead ball teams in each league on that.
Do you like the game engine for replay?
I really do. I didn't play it a ton, cards and dice, because I'm not a big charts guy. but the PC version really flows good. The engine was really, really solid.
Yeah, I have it. I love the the web design and the way the interface of it. I think that's one of the best interfaces that you have.
Yeah, I think the guy that did that, Richard Hand, is the same guy that did second season football. So it's totally solid computer game. Yeah, I'd recommend it for sure.
What's the deal with Bronco Mendenhall? What the hell's up?
Bronco is.
Did I not? I even mentioned it on the channel the other day. I had heard rumblings that they were talking about getting rid of it. So I don't know whether that had anything to do with it or not.
What do you think?
I don't think that was the case. Bronco's never really been a guy that does coach speak. He'll tell you basically.
Good morning, Hannah.
And I'm going to bring Daisy here, but he'll tell you what.
Where will he end up at?
Nowhere right now. You
don't think he'll coach nowhere?
Not in the immediate future. He said like I said, he's always been very direct, and he's not a guy to bullshit you. And he said that he just needed time. He wants time to step away. He's very much a family-oriented guy. He coaches that way. His coaches do not work 16-hour days. He makes them go home to their family at night.
Now, I wonder if he liked Virginia or he just didn't like the area, or
by all accounts, he was very happy there. It was a school that aligned with the way he thought.
Yeah.
And I think it just came down to I think what he said, he made that decision literally over a weekend, and I believe that. I think he was just kind of he sits down and reflects a lot. If you've ever read his book, it's really an interesting study of someone's mind, and he's a very organized person, very structured, and he evaluates everything in his life at all times. So he's a different cat for sure, but he's genuine, and I think he legitimately just said, you know what, I need a break.
Let's say 3 years from 2 years from now, 3 years from now, BYU decides to make a change. Any chance he goes back to BYU? No chance he goes back there. All right. We're doing what the hell ifs here. What if? And we got it all the way across the board. I've already said how I think the lineup is going to be. I think it's going to be Alabama number 1. I think Cincinnati's going to be number 2. I think Michigan's going to be number 3. I mean, Georgia's going to be number 3. And Michigan. Anyway, Georgia's going to be a 2 or 3. And Alabama's going to be a 1 or 4. I don't think they'll make him play again their next time. So I'm saying I think it'll be Alabama, Cincinnati, Georgia, Michigan is the way I think it's going to be. What do you think?
I think it's going to be Alabama, Michigan, Cincinnati, and Alabama, Michigan, Georgia, Cincinnati.
That's what I think.
Well, okay. Now, does Georgia stay number 1?
No. Alabama will be 1, Michigan 2, Georgia 3, Cincinnati 4.
Oh, so it'll be Cincinnati, Alabama then.
Yeah. They definitely won't make Georgia and Alabama rematch.
Right.
I think Michigan's win was convincing enough to keep them at number 2, but not stop Alabama from leapfrogging them. And Georgia's still the most talented defensive team in that group. They had a really bad whatever, but they're not going to drop the 4.
So Cincinnati's your 4 team then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you're saying Alabama will play Cincinnati, Georgia will play Michigan. Now Keith says it the other way. Which way?
No. I'd say it exactly the way Anthony just said it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I agree with you wholeheartedly. I think Georgia falls to 3 though. You agree, or do you think it just fall to 2? Which it really doesn't matter.
It won't matter, but I think Georgia goes to 3 and Michigan's 2.
I agree. I think that's the way it will work. Now, let me ask you a question. Last night, Michigan loses by 3 points. Any chance in hell that Baylor gets in that top four?
No.
No.
No. Would it have been Notre Dame?
Yeah, probably.
Possibly. I honestly think if they had lost a close game,
Yeah.
they might have been able to hold on to the fourth spot.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I
think that's possible.
oh my God.
To shut the Big Ten out
I
completely
even
would
said
have
if
been
they won a
unlikely.
close game, I thought they might fall out.
No.
I thought now I wouldn't bet my life today that Cincinnati's gonna be number 4. I wouldn't. I'm telling you, I know the commit. We know this damn committee well enough to know Cincinnati
Well,
ain't gonna draw like Notre Dame would. But if Notre Dame jumps them, all I can say is it's a farce. It's a total farce. Agreed?
yeah, if Notre Dame jumps Cincy, it would be bullshit. You can't put an undefeated team
Yeah.
that did absolutely nothing to hurt their chances in that spot for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then dump
I
them.
didn't think there was any chance they were going to do that to Cincinnati with Notre Dame 2 years in a row.
All right. So let's get Anthony's point spreads. Right now, Vegas opens them up at 1 o'clock today. Alabama, Cincinnati. Alabama, you got them favored, don't you?
Oh, yeah. So it's going to be Alabama. I think Alabama's a double-digit favorite against Cincinnati. I say 11 points.
11 points, okay. Keith says 21 and a half. 21 and a half.
Wow.
I'll say 18. I think it's going to be higher to start, and I think it'll work its way down. I'm going to say 18, though.
Well,
Georgia, how about this? Georgia, Michigan. Now, he and I weren't even close on this.
Go back and get my original one. I don't know.
I think Georgia will be favored by 4.5.
4.5. Okay.
What do you guys have?
I said 2. I think it's going to be really, really close there. Now, let's flip the script. Alabama, Michigan.
Hi, Tim.
I think it's still a double-digit point spread. I think 10.
10.
And here's why. Michigan.
I said 14. I think it is too. Yeah.
It comes down to matchups, and that's why I have Georgia favored over Michigan. Michigan's strength is running the ball, and Georgia's got a great front seven.
Both of those two Southeastern Conference teams are nothing like you would think they would have been 15 years ago. They can stretch the field on anybody, and Alabama has speed. I don't think none of the teams can match. Agreed?
Oh, for sure. I mean, Georgia defensively is probably comparable speed-wise, but offensively, they've got a lot more weapons than Georgia.
Yeah. Georgia, Cincinnati. Is that a double-digit spread?
Yeah.
All right.
Surprisingly, I actually would like Georgia more than I would Alabama in that matchup, just because of styles. I give Georgia 13.
13. Okay. Now, in the unlikely event, we have ourselves a rematch. Alabama and Georgia. Is Alabama a double-digit favorite against Georgia the second time around?
No. I think that's a field goal.
Oh, my goodness. Wow. I got 8 anyway. I think they're a better team. Now, Michigan, Cincinnati. Is Michigan a double-digit favorite against Cincinnati?
I see that as a closer game, no.
Really?
I think they're Michigan. I'd probably do 8.5.
Okay. All right.
Did Alabama have some offensive linemen out against Auburn? Alabama, because they couldn't protect their quarterback in that game. And I was just wondering for the
they didn't get nobody back from the Auburn game yesterday. I'll tell you what they did. They kept their tight end yesterday chipping all day. Their tight end did chipping every time he was in there, and the running back was. Look, how many running back catches did they even have the whole game? Maybe 1, 2. I'm talking about Alabama. Everything's to their wideouts because they were protecting that quarterback really well. Anthony, Bryce Young wins the Heisman yesterday.
I've heard that's kind of what the consensus is, and I don't know who you're going to put above him at this point.
Yeah, I liked before yesterday. I liked Aiden Hutchinson, but after yesterday, I like Bryce I like Bryce Young.
It's just such a, especially a D lineman. It's
such an offensive. It's an offensive award. You're right, but it will be nice the next time you see somebody in the trenches win it. Don't you agree?
For sure. Who was the last defensive player to win it? Was it Woodson?
Yeah, but who was the last defensive? Who was the last defensive down lineman to win it?
I couldn't even tell you.
Probably hadn't been done in 50 years. Probably
I don't think so.
But it would be nice to see, because before yesterday, I'll say it this way. I didn't see anybody as a clear-cut favorite before yesterday, not even Young. And I really thought if Aiden Hutchinson went out last night and got two or three sacks, it's never a down lineman's ever won. Okay, why not though? But
yeah, I didn't think so.
But it would be great. You agreed?
Yeah, but that just basically tells you that there wasn't any standout offensive player when that happens.
Well,
because if there is an offensive player that stands out, that's the person who's going to get it.
Well, It's not an offensive award, though. That's the thing. It's not just it's outstanding college player.
Yeah,
and
but that's the way it's treated, though.
Well, yeah, but the fact is, if we look back over the last 10 drafts in the NFL, when's the last time a quarterback? I mean, not a quarterback, a wide receiver was taken number one. It doesn't happen very often.
You don't need to.
But how about a defensive lineman? How often does a defensive lineman take it to the top? Shit. And I think it's going to happen again this time. And I think Hutchinson probably passed the kid from Oregon. I think he's going to be the first kid picked. I really do.
Well, it just shows you perception versus what football people value. Because you win games at every level in the trenches, every single level. But quarterbacks and the Heisman, it used to be as a college game was more ground oriented. It was always usually a running back. Yep. Now it's more wide open, so it's going to be the quarterback, and that's just the sexy pick because they put up the numbers and get the most attention. But the reality is, the linemen on either side of the ball are always going to have more value than a skill player if they're the same level.
You got it. Would you like to do some picks for this week? The NFL picks.
Sure.
All right. We already got 7 guys down, so let's be 8 people for this week. You won't get. I'm not going to let you take the Cowboys and Saints. That wouldn't be. That wouldn't be fair. But I'm sure you would have took the Cowboys minus the 5. Yeah. But let's see the Colts -7 against the Texans.
I like the Colts to cover that. They've been really playing well offensively.
Yep. 47's the over-under.
I think that will be under just because of the Texans.
Yeah, I got you. Vikings 7.5 against the Lions.
I love my Vikings. I think they're going to win, but Detroit has played tough all season. They just can't win a game. I think they cover the spread.
48.
That's definitely an under.
All right. Giants, Dolphins. Dolphins 2.5 favorites at home.
They cover.
Dolphins will. 43.5.
Over.
All right. Buccaneers 9.5 at the Falcons.
You know what? Atlanta's, I think, just too banged up. Ridley's still out on his, getting his head right. I think Tampa Bay covers that.
Yeah. All 8 of us said that. 50.5.
I think that actually will be an over.
I agree too, because I'll tell you what, that's one thing. Even when Atlanta's losing, they're scoring points.
Yeah,
they're scoring points. Their defense sucks awful bad. Eagles, after that shitty playing up there in the Meadowlands last week, they get to go back to the Meadowlands this week, but they're playing the Jets 6.5.
The Eagles are such a Jekyll and Hyde team. They could come and blow out the Jets by 20 points, or they could lose a close one. I mean, Zach Wilson has been my most disappointing rookie quarterback this year.
He is not. He's not played well. He
No,
is. Really
and I'm still high on him for the future, but he has to really get rid of that gunslinger mentality. I'm going to take the Eagles to cover.
45.
I think that'll be over.
Oh, okay. I actually thought that would be way under because I just don't see the Jets scoring on the Eagles.
The Jets defense isn't that good either.
I don't think Eagles will throw 45 up on them though. I don't think they will. Cardinals -7. Bears at the Bears.
You know what? I'm going to pick the Bears to cover.
All right. 46.
I'm still waiting again. This is where the Cardinals struggle consistently, and I know Murray. He should be back.
He don't like it cold weather. He does.
No, he doesn't.
No.
And that for that reason, I think they might get out of there with a win. But
he's got small hands too, and if it gets cold, he doesn't have a lot. He doesn't have a chance. 46.5.
Under.
All right. Chargers, Bengals. Bengals 1.5 point favorites.
Wow. Where's it at?
At Cincinnati.
I'm going to take the Chargers.
Wow. Well, you're the only one did. 7 people took the Bengals. 48.
That's close. I think that's going to be an over.
All right. Jags at the Rams. 12-point favorites.
I'll take the Rams.
All right. 48.
Over.
Washington football team, the winners of 3 in a row before they had their fucking bye. Ugh. But they're just coming off a bye. And Raiders are a 1.5 favorite at Vegas.
Heine's been one of the biggest surprises in the league this year. He really has been playing well. I think
their offensive line's played well for him.
Yeah, I think Vegas is still in a little bit of disarray. I think Washington gets number 4.
Okay, 48.
I'm going to go under on that.
Yeah, I went under too. I actually took Washington this time, so they're destined to lose. So
yeah,
but Ravens 3-point favorites at the Steelers.
Steelers are a mess. I think the Ravens cover that.
All 8 of us took the Ravens. That's also worrisome. 45 points.
I think that's going to be under.
Yeah, I couldn't count 48. I said they could play for 3 days. I'm not sure they get 45 points. 49ers 2.5-point favorites at Seattle.
I don't know what's wrong with Seattle right now. Their offense is stagnant, and he's got weapons. You know what? I think they're going to bounce back finally. I think Wilson is going to be have a game, and I think they win cover.
Wow, you're the only one. 7 of us picked the 49ers.
Really?
46.
Under.
And I'm also saying their coach is the first one to get fired.
Carroll?
Yep.
Really?
I'm not even sure he's going to make a year. I'm hearing too many rumblings. I got a friend that lives outside of Seattle. They are not happy at all with him.
Wasn't that one 46.5, Rob?
46 straight. 46.
I put 46 down.
Broncos, Chiefs. Chiefs 9.5-point favorites.
God, they're another team that's been surprisingly inconsistent.
They're coming off a bye though, with Reed. That's the only reason I picked them.
Denver's been playing really well.
They have.
You know what? That pass rush. I think Kansas City will cover.
Oh, you think it will?
All right.
49.5.
I think that's going to be an over.
Yeah. When the Chiefs start scoring, they can put 30 on the board before you even realize it. I mean, they can do it.
And that's the thing. That game, if they can pressure Mahomes, that could be an ugly Denver win, or it could be a
right. If Denver wins, it'll be an under.
Yeah,
but
sure.
but if Kansas City plays the way they're capable of playing, it could easily be 60 points. I mean, hell, it could be 45 by halftime.
Yeah, I agree.
How about this one? Patriots at the Bills. Bills are a 3-point favorite here.
Wow. I think that shows some respect actually for Mac Jones, because if he was having a normal rookie season, I think the line would be higher.
See, I disagree with you. I actually think Vegas is betting more on the quarterback from Buffalo. I think if heads prevail, I think this is a pick'em game. I really do. I think it's a pick'em game but I think Josh Allen gets I think he gets the favorite. I just think still Vegas likes Josh Allen a lot more than they do Mac Jones. That's what I think.
It's at Buffalo, you said?
It's at Buffalo. 3 point. They got to give up 3.
I think it'd be a close game. I'm gonna go with Buffalo though to cover barely.
All right, 46.
Wow. I think that depends on what the weather's like.
It's a chance of a snow shower, I think, is what I've been hearing. But
yeah,
that's what I've been hearing.
I'm gonna go under.
Yeah. Right now, of the 5 quarterbacks that were selected in the first round, who's been the most disappointing? Has it been Lawrence?
It's been Wilson to me. I think, Wilson, Lawrence is definitely, he's a prototypical looking NFL QB. Mm-hmm. I expected more from Zach Wilson based on his study habits than I did Trevor Lawrence, and for that reason, I think Wilson's been more disappointing than Lawrence.
Even more than Fields. Even more than Fields has looked like shit. Fields is like garbage, man.
Fields is in a terrible situation. Wilson and Lawrence were given the keys. Fields was kind of put on it. We'll see, and you can't. I don't think you can manage a quarterback, a rookie, the way that Nagy's managed Fields in Chicago.
I can't believe he's kept his job. I
agree. So I'm going to give Fields a pass on that. I think he. I don't think he's been worse than Lawrence or Wilson.
Garoppolo's getting traded at the end of the year. They've already said it. They're going to get rid of it. They're not going in the next camp with him. Mm-hmm.
I think with Fields, you could actually make an argument, given the situation he's in, with a coach who just kind of does what he wants to do without. He's on a hot seat. He wanted Dalton to start with. Fields might be actually doing a little better than what you might have expected given the situation.
I agree. The things I've seen with him, he's done rookie stuff. He's held the ball too long at times. His reads have been slow, but then you've seen he's made some dynamic plays. He's definitely got arm talent. So I think, I think he has done a little better based on his situation than one would expect.
With the athletic ability that he has.
Yeah.
Chase,
Trey Lance, you can't say because he hasn't really been
right. Lance, we don't have hardly anything.
And you know what? But that's exactly where he should be.
There's
no way he should have been thrown in.
And even if it was one more year, it probably wouldn't hurt him because
we have to remember Mahomes did not play his rookie year.
Yeah.
Well, hell, what's his name didn't play the first 3 years he was in Green Bay.
Rodgers
didn't.
No, I think Trey Lance is a talent, but I agree with you, Rob. I think it would be smart for him to sit a second year.
Yeah, I believe so too. Right now, is it a clear-cut favorite for Rookie of the Year? Is Jamar Chase the Rookie of the Year? Is Mac Jones the Rookie of the Year? Or is it an alignment like Barmore or? Right now, who do you think is favored to win Rookie of the Year?
Unless Mac Jones has a complete meltdown and throws interceptions over the final few games, it's his award. Jamar Chase has had a great season, but I think it's Mac Jones to lose.
Is Chase anywhere near any rookie records or anything for a wide receiver? I mean, that would be about the only way I think he would get it outside of.
I don't know. What's your rookie record for receptions in a year? It's like 70, right? 70. Is he that close? Is he that close to getting that?
He's having an epic rookie season, and if you remember during training camp, there was a lot of concern because he was dropping a lot of passes.
Yeah, well, yeah, because people were raising hell. You should have got a lineman. Should have got a lineman. Should have got a lineman because what's his name even asked to get Chase. Yeah, and then from week 1, he dropped 3 balls, big time, and they were like, "Oh shit, he's going to the bench." They kept him out there. He's played his ass off. He really has.
Played
NFL
well.
rookie wide catch record. NFL rookie reception record. Anquan Bolden.
Wow.
101. 101. Anquan Bolden. How about that shit?
Okay, well, would either of you guys ever have guessed that off the top of your head?
Hell no. If I'm going to tell you right now, if I were going to have guessed somebody, I would have said somebody maybe like a Torrey Holt. I would have said somebody like a Torrey Holt.
Was he with the Cardinals when he did? Was
he was a Cardinal, yeah, and he had a really good career. I remember he was a dual threat quarterback in high school out of Florida. But
anybody know what year Bolden was a rookie?
No
close. 03.
2003. Mm-hmm. I was going to say 01. So yeah.
So let's see how many catches. How many receptions does Jamar Chase have? He's let's see. He's on pace to get 85. No, I don't care about on pace. On pace don't mean shit.
Yeah, he's got an extra game though too.
Yeah, he will get one extra game. That's right. But
Tim says Bill Groman having the most rookie receiving yards of 1,473.
Yeah, most yards. Yeah, but most catches. I was just looking at reception, and let's see.
Tim, who was that? I don't remember a Bill Groman. Was that?
I don't either. He played. He's actually deceased.
He must have played a long time ago.
Jamar Chase.
He played in the AFL. That's why. So he was with the Oilers in 1960.
Any idea so far how many receptions Jamar Chase has? Take a guess, Anthony.
40 something.
63.
63, and Keith says,
I'll say 49.
Wow, 50. 50.
Okay.
Wow, Keith.
Yeah, really close there. 906 yards, 18.1 yards a catch. That's impressive for a rookie.
Yeah, really especially for today's game. I mean, back in the 70s and 80s, that was kind of common because teams didn't throw so many short passes. But
82. But he did catch an 82-yard bomb, or it might have been a short pass and he ran for 82 yards. But he's got 8 touchdowns too, so that's really, really, really good. Not a bad deal at all. Are you surprised, Anthony, by the way my boy Jones has played this year? I pushed him all. I pushed him through the draft. I even said I thought he should have been the third quarterback chosen. But are you surprised overall how he's performed?
A little bit, but we all talked about he was definitely in the best situation coach-wise with offensive coordinator scheme that fit him, and that's a key thing. The scheme there fits him, and they have enough around him. But he's a smart quarterback, and what's made him really excel is, and I'll compare him to Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson still does stupid things trying to use his arm talent to overcome coverage, and you can't do that. Mac Jones has played within his limits. He's a smart quarterback. He understands the game, and he's really flourished in that system.
The gal FS1 says he's about to hit his ceiling. Agreed? Mac Jones.
I don't think he's going. I think he's going to get better. I don't think he is going to have as high a trajectory as maybe a couple of the other guys in that class can have, potential wise. But that's still saying quite a bit because he's really outperforming what the majority of rookie QBs do.
Look at his numbers compared to Brady's. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
71%. 71% right now. Look how many quarterbacks in the NFL this season, not over their career, but over the season, that's completed 70%. It's not many.
No, I think you're going to see Jones pretty much play at this level through his career, barring injury. And I think a couple of the other guys, I think both Lawrence and Wilson, I think Lance is still an unknown, but I think the other three are definitely all going to improve and be capable. But so when you talk about where they are now versus ceiling, I think Jones is definitely a lot closer to his than everyone else.
Jones plays this way 15 years. Is he a Hall of Famer? If he plays near this limit, maybe not as great as he's playing this year, but if he plays with this and whoever for whatever team, but if he plays around this, is he a Hall of Famer?
It could be. I think you have to weigh in what he does in the postseason because that's how quarterbacks are measured. If he wins 2 or 3 championships, probably.
Okay. Is Phillip Rivers a Hall of Famer?
I know you don't think so, but I think he was consistently good. I think he's a bubble Hall of Famer, yeah.
Matt Ryan.
I think he's the same place as Rivers is. Yeah,
really.
And remember,
you just been saying depends on what they do in their postseason.
No, I said that for Jones.
Okay.
Phillip Rivers has consistently, I think he's been a consistently good quarterback everywhere he's been. He doesn't have those championship rings, but that's why I put him on the bubble because he doesn't. If he did, he would definitely be. So that's what I'm saying with Jones. If he performs like this for 15 seasons and gets 2 or 3 rings, for sure.
Rivers had that quality. Not that it was always successful, but he was the kind of guy that would look like he'd try to put a team on his shoulders and carry him through too. And
great leader.
Greatest attitudes all the time.
Great leader.
Great attitude. He didn't have a great attitude a lot of times. You could tell he ran around the ass a lot. I don't think he was a great teammate all the time. That's my opinion. So? I don't think so. No.
He's really gotten where he gets criticism. First of all, he's not really he's a trash talker, but in a nice way. And where he's always got flack is from opponents that just say he annoys the hell out of him.
Kind of
like heard bad from his teammates about it.
Kind of like Larry Bird.
Dan Marino and exactly. Dan Marino and Dan Fouts were kind of.
We talk on this channel a whole lot. How about Russell Wilson? Is he a Hall of Famer? Right now, is he a Hall of Famer? No, I don't think so either.
Yeah, you got to remember too, Rob. The standard has changed because now every quarterback throws for 3,000 plus yards a season.
Right. I personally think Russell Wilson's closer to Hall of Fame status than to me. I would put Russell Wilson above Phillip Rivers and Phillip Rivers above Matt Ryan. That's the three. If I were going to do it, if I'm looking solely on numbers,
he's Wilson needs to play a little longer.
He's 2-1 on touchdowns over INTs. He's got he hadn't even thrown double digits INTs in his. I mean, he's 3-1, 280 or something touchdowns and like 75 or 80 INTs. It's sick. The numbers are.
You can agree with all that. I think they're all bubble guys, but
yeah. And then somebody on the channel said Romo was a Hall of Famer. Romo's not a Hall of Famer. He didn't play long enough.
No. The quarterbacks that are in college right now, which ones are coming out in this year's draft and this transfer from Ohio State? What's the scouting report on him, if anybody knows?
Ewers?
Yeah.
He 5-star Texas quarterback, which is as good a credentials as you can get. He signed that NIL, which they're probably regretting now. But I think he's another athlete that's I kind of put him in the Martell Tate category where it's his dad running the show. And he's a bigger talent than Tate for sure, 100%. But I think he's going to go back to Texas. I think Texas Tech, or Texas A&M will be landing spots for him, and I think he's going to have a good career. I just, here's a problem when you do this LeVar Ball bullshit and put that much hype, excuse me, that much of an expectation on your kid, and he doesn't live up to it right away. It almost makes you look bad, your ego. And so I think that's why the transfer came about. My opinion.
Is Stroud coming out, or has he got another year?
I don't think he comes out this year.
Now, is he eligible to come out? That's what
I don't think he's eligible, actually. I think he's a redshirt freshman, though.
Oh, okay. I thought they said sophomore, but I wasn't sure. Right now, you got a team, and your general manager is saying you got to get a quarterback with the 20th pick in the draft. No quarterback has been selected yet. Are you taking the kid from Ole Miss? Or are you taking the kid from Pittsburgh? Or are you taking the kid from Liberty? Or if Stroud was in there, would you take Stroud? Or somebody else, somebody totally different?
I think it depends on the team's needs and what they have. I think I've said before, Malik Willis is kind of an RG3 type of player, and Lamar Jackson's been able to play that way and survive, but
Willis is not that big. Willis is not as big. Willis is not as big though.
Well, neither's Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson's pretty thin. He's somehow
Lamar Jackson's 6'5", though. Willis is what?
Yeah.
What is Willis?
So I don't think it's Willis.
Yeah,
I think Willis is probably an early second round pick. I think it would
really. You think he'll be picked that early?
Second round.
Second. Wow. So, all right. Who do you think will be the first?
It'll be the kid from Pittsburgh.
Pickett. I think maybe from what I've seen, I like the way he throws the ball. And I'll tell you who the most disappointing kid is, the one from Carolina, Howell. He's looked like shit this year.
Yeah.
Howell last year, they said Howell would have been a first round pick last year. And now I don't even know if he's a first 3 round pick. So you say
I don't think anybody. I think Matt Corral falls out of the first round too.
I don't like him. It's something I've watched him play, and I'm like, I'm not big on the way he throws the football. Now, of course, the kid from Alabama is what year is he in? He's not
a freshman.
Oh, is he a true freshman? Oh,
I think he's not eligible to come out. No.
He's not. What's his name?
Bryce Young.
Yeah, Bryce Young, Alabama. Let's see.
And while to answer your question,
sophomore. He's a sophomore.
Oh, is he? Okay.
Yeah, so he is eligible to come out.
I don't think he does, though.
If he did, would he be the first quarterback selected? I think so.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, and somebody could really have a talent there. I like the way he throws the football. He and Burrow to me look a lot alike when they move around the pocket and stuff.
Bryce looked real nice on those slant patterns.
Yeah. Who does he remind you most of in the NFL right now?
Young?
Yeah.
Bryce Young? Probably good question. You know what? I think with not as much arm talent, he's got a little bit of Josh Allen in him.
Really?
He very very athletic, mobile, and
I like him more than Josh Allen. I'm not a big Josh Allen guy, man. It's something about Josh Allen tries to run. He does too many stupid things still, and he's in his third year or second year? Third year.
Third. Remember, he struggled, and he finally came into his own last season.
Yeah, this year, I don't know. I've seen him play.
He's outperformed what my expectations, because when he was at Wyoming, he was a high 50% completion guy. I didn't think he would do well, but he's a
big dude, though. He is.
I think he's performed better.
Is there anybody in the NFL bigger than him as far as quarterback?
Yeah.
Stafford?
No.
No.
Uh,
Golf.
Damn it, I'm trying to think. I know.
It's definitely not Heineke.
No.
A little midget. He is a little bitty dude, man.
Rob, what did you think of that quarterback that played for Baylor yesterday? You think
Man,
he's a starter for them next year?
Well, I was texting you the whole first half. Did you watch Baylor play, Anthony?
I watched most of that. Yeah.
All right, the first half, I was like, oh my God, look at this, 13 for 13, 14 for 14. We have ourselves a brain surgeon here. We got somebody that's going to cut them apart. Then the next thing you see is he throws the ball sideways across the fucking field, and I'm like, number one, it was about that far from being a lateral, and a lot of people still say it was a lateral. But that was the dumbest damn thing. I mean, a rookie. That's stupid, man.
That's a freshman mistake. That's a freshman
You
mistake.
you learn. Take the ball and put it down like it's your baby. You got to teach him that shit. That kid needs to get hit in the head a couple times, slapped by the
Well,
a couple times.
what was that though? That was his second start as a true freshman.
Yeah, he's got to do
That's a big
better.
stage.
But I really liked the way he was. Man, he was throwing the ball in such small pockets out there. And then the second half, after he got hurt, after his shoulder got hurt, look, don't be stupid, Baylor. Do not be stupid. You got a shoulder injury. You sit on the bench. You go over and say, "Oh, look, I'd like to have the doctor come over here for it, please." All right. What did he do? He runs to the damn tent. Like, oh my God, this is the worst thing ever. The other team sees this shit, and they're like, okay, now it's like blood in the water. We're going to attack this son of a bitch. And that's what they did. I wouldn't have a problem with it at all if he faked the injury and been like, okay, look, coach, I'm fine. Now, we'll come out and I'll have a piece of tape on my arm, and then I can throw the ball wherever I want to. But if you're really hurt, you can't show that shit. I mean, you know what? I just don't agree with the way they did. I did not ask you how your football team performed this year.
We actually had. Well, let me answer Mike's question real quick.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
So I don't think that's been decided yet where Rattler's going. And I actually Mike, I actually know his personal quarterback coach, Mike Giovando. He's a friend of mine. He coaches quarterbacks here as a business. And I meant to reach out to him to see if he has any inkling, but rumor has it, rumors were ASU, U of A. U of A is a dumpster fire. I don't see that.
UCLA? I thought I'd heard UCLA call.
That's a possibility. ASU, Jaden Daniels is going to be coming back, so I don't think he comes there.
I don't think it's USC.
No.
Because I think that coach left to get away from there. He did not. He was not liking the situation.
There's no love for Riley Lincoln in that family. Plus, there's rumors that Williams might follow him there. Plus, Jackson Dart, who is a true freshman this year, played very well.
Yeah.
So USC's quarterback room is going to be crowded. So Rattler does not go there to sit on the bench again.
Exactly, I agree.
I think UCLA would actually be a good landing spot for him.
Jackson Dart, from Utah, he is a hell of a quarterback. He is good. I mean, they beat up on Oregon twice, not just once.
No. Jackson Dart played high school in Utah. He's USC's quarterback. You're thinking Cameron Rising is the Utah.
Who's the Utah quarterback? What's his name?
Cameron Rising.
I didn't watch 10 plays of that game, but they whipped up on on Oregon like they were little kids.
Well, then you know what? Utah twice dominated them. They ran the ball down their throats both games, and that sets up their offense is not a stretch the field offense. It's pound you and then go play action. And Oregon had no answer for them.
Man, they was. I turned the TV on and it's like Utah's whipping them already. I'm like, damn, I thought Oregon's supposed to be good. But let's say Utah plays a Southeastern Conference powerhouse. Ole Miss. Can they beat Ole Miss?
Mm-hmm. I'm going to say this about Utah, and it's the same with Nick Saban. Obviously, I'm a BYU fan, so I'm not fond of Utah, but Kyle Whittingham, when he has to coach and prepare for one single game,
Yeah.
I put him up there. Chris Peterson, I think, was the best at that.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll put him up there with Saban and been able to get his team ready to play a single game, and they would have weeks to prepare for that. And I think he would outcoach Kiffin, and I think defense would be the difference in that game.
If we're doing a lot of ifing now, Utah was number 4. They're playing Alabama. Do they have a legit shot? They're playing Georgia. Do they have a legit shot? They're playing Michigan. Do they have a legit shot?
I'd give them a better shot there than the other two for sure. Yeah.
Would they be favored?
No.
Okay. All right. So I kind of find out where they are in the pecking order. So, if they played an A&M or Ole Miss, they wouldn't be a touchdown dog, but they may not be a touchdown favorite.
Yeah, they wouldn't be huge dogs. I like them against Ole Miss better than I would against A&M. I think surprisingly, I don't think they beat Cincinnati because I think Cincinnati's defense would
really.
what they like to do.
Oh, okay. I didn't even bring Cincinnati up. I should have done that, but I didn't even bring Cincinnati.
Anthony, how many players do you think get drafted out of BYU this year?
Probably just
Do they have a couple of good receivers?
I don't think they're going anywhere. Gunnar Romney was going to declare. I think Neil Powell will get picked up as undrafted free agent. I think Tyler Algier will get drafted, and I think one of their Mike Empey, their offensive lineman, maybe he got hurt, so that could damage his stock.
Yeah.
NFL so far, your team that is your most disappointing so far after so many weeks. It's like, okay, I can't believe they're sitting where they're sitting. Is it Cleveland?
I think it's got to be out of Cleveland or Pittsburgh.
Okay, yeah. I'm not too surprised with Pittsburgh because we knew, old man in the mine there, he's just not giving it up. He finally on Friday came out in an article in Youngstown, Ohio, that finally said, I'm feeling like this might be my last year, and he pretty open about it. Said something about, I feel like this might be it for me. But he's not leaving Pittsburgh in a good way though, because they don't have, the cupboard is bare. The cupboard is bare, and I even mentioned it 4 weeks ago, and people were laughing about it, and probably still are. Any chance Tomlin gets fired from this?
I don't think so. I'll tell you why. The Rooneys just aren't that way. They're going to give him a shot. They're really good owners, and they're not going to be ones that jump too quick to fire a coach. I think, but one thing their front office did is they left them in a bad situation. You knew Roethlisberger's injury prone, old. They have no contingency plan at quarterback. So if he retires, they're going to have to probably reach to take a quarterback next year, and that's not what you want.
Malik Willis is not the answer. He's not the answer. And I don't know if I see anybody other than Bryce Young in the next couple of years that could be a game changer across the board. I don't think Matt Corral or Corral or whatever. I don't think he's a game changer in quarterback. Do you?
No.
Maybe Pickett. Maybe he is. I don't know. Pickett.
And you know what?
That would be the sexy pick.
I was just going to say that would be sexy. You take a kid who played college ball there.
Yeah, that would be the totally sexy pick for him to do, to say, look, let's move up and let's get him and maybe overvalue ourselves with him and be like, look, you're our future now. Because that's one thing they've always done with their coaches. They value their coaches to the point that they let them pretty much have free reign of things. Maybe that's what you got to do with your quarterback and say, look, you saw what Roethlisberger did in his 15 years here. what we want you to do is play within your game and all. I don't know, crazy shit's happened, but that's one thing you got to admit. Their offense and defensive lines always come to play.
Yeah.
They always come. And if you
they always have a good running game.
yeah, and if you got a quarterback that was, you see, that's another place I think one of these rookies could have come into this year, like a Mac Jones. I think he could have come in right at Pittsburgh and been like, zoom, zoom, throwing
You know
it. The only problem is, I think they got better receivers and shit than they do in New England. I really do.
Time machine. What is it that you're disagreeing with?
I don't know. I don't know who Mike's disagreeing with. He just said I totally disagree.
Here's probably what I said about Utah, but here that's a thing we have. Here's what Pittsburgh could do. How about they get Jimmy G as a stopgap and then draft a quarterback later, maybe take a flyer on the Willis kid and try and develop him.
And let him sit for a year or two or three.
Yeah.
That he makes more sense either there or in New Orleans than anywhere to me. Does New Orleans does that make any sense for you for Garoppolo to go to New Orleans?
I don't know that he's. I mean, we'll see what happens with Winston. I don't know that he's much of an upgrade over him. Winston didn't play bad this year. He played well.
He's not playing now. The fact is they got Hill playing, Taysom Hill and all. Winston's on a 1-year deal, so that's it. That's it for him probably there. So I'm wondering where could we see Garoppolo other than maybe New Orleans, Pittsburgh.
He could go to New Orleans and Winston could go to Pittsburgh. I think Tomlin might appreciate having Winston there, especially with the offense they run. Play action, stretch.
I'm going to say another city you may not agree with. How about Chicago? And let the other kids sit a year.
I honestly think they're going to give Fields the keys next year.
They may.
Maybe he was getting criticized for doing that. That's the thing. And it'd be hard for a coach to go in there and say, hey, this is my plan. I'm going to put Fields on the bench and let him sit and start something else.
I think they're limited in what kind of coach they're going to get, though, if they get rid of Nagy, but they're telling you if they're going to hire you, you're going to have Fields as your quarterback. You don't have any say in it. I don't think you're going to get many.
I don't think that they would tell him that because it's the media that's going to beat up on the coach if he does that. I think because they were beating up Nagy for that. Now Nagy was on the hot seat anyway, but it's just a coach is going to feel pressured to put Fields in there.
Yeah, well,
is Heineke going to be a Washington starter for a while? You think, or is he just kind of filling the gap right now until they try to draft somebody that's going to probably be a bust for him, as most of their first round picks are?
From all indications, 2 months ago, Heineke was a stopgap until the draft. A month ago, Heineke became a decent starter for Washington. Yes, as early as over the last week, they're saying, what can Washington do to build around Heineke? So I don't know. 3 wins does not make a quarterback, but I think they have high expectations for a kid that probably has a very low ceiling. I'll be very surprised if they don't go draft a quarterback this year. I don't know, Anthony.
I don't think he's long term. I think he's probably earned the right to be the guy going forward. But you're right; he doesn't have a high ceiling. He's played really smart from what I've seen of him, and not he's a game manager who's managed the game very well.
I will give Washington credit. They decided 2-3 years ago, we're going after defense, front seven, and they loaded up with front seven guys to the point where they actually got rid of one of them and sent him to the Eagles this year. And now the Eagles are
Kerrigan.
Yeah, and now the Eagles are talking about releasing him this week. They're talking. That's how bad they really do not like this Kerrigan kid up there. but he played well when he was in Washington. And now they look like they're going after their offensive line side of stuff. At McLaurin or whatever from Ohio State's playing out of his friggin' mind. I'd never heard of him before he came here, but he is he's a hell of a receiver. And if they get some defensive backs in there, and maybe a running game, but Gibson's not a bad runner. Do I think they're a playoff team this year? No, I don't. I don't think they pass the Eagles. Definitely don't think they're going to catch the Cowboys. But I think they're a third place team and probably going to stick at third place and probably
end the season right now. But it's
end the season probably with 7 wins. I'll say
a
seven.
weak division.
7-10, because the end of the year for them is just atrocious. Dallas, Philadelphia, Giants. That's their last 5 games. And that's just tough.
I would really be unhappy with that schedule if I.
That's the way it is.
Yeah, I texted that to Rob when it came out, and
Dallas,
like,
Philadelphia, and then the Giants. And I'm like, look, you only play 6. I don't have a problem with the last week of the season being a division game, but spread them out a little bit anyway. My Lord, but hell, aren't the Ravens playing back to? They're playing back to back against the same team. Yeah,
with that bye week in between.
Yeah, played the Browns. I think off week and played the Browns again. How about that shit? I mean, that's just.
I think the 17-game schedule might have something to do with that, where they were kind of, I don't know, but yeah, I think the NFL's got to make better schedules than that.
Well, when they print a schedule and they look to make sure that, okay, we got our game we want for the opening night, we got our Monday night games we want, we got Thanksgiving games we want, and
then
else.
Then what they should do is week 5.
Okay,
let's have all of our NFC division matchups, and then AFC will let y'all play whoever the hell you want to play. Week 8, let's have all our AFC division matchups, and kind of stroll them all over the season. Don't have them stack 5 at the end of the season. That's not right. That's just bullshit.
And I don't even mind that per se, but when you're playing the same 2 teams 4 times, and that's
in 4 weeks you play. In 4 weeks you play in 2 teams. That's bullshit.
That's a terrible schedule.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's kind of like the old hockey term, back to backs, or coming. All that's begging for is problems, because if you got somebody with a big mouth that's willing to go out there and say, "Oh, you son of a bitch," this and that. All you're begging for is fights and shit. Because how many times have you ever seen a hockey game, wherever, on a Friday night, and then they go to the other town and play on Saturday night? 95% of the time, you're going to see some ill will and some sourpuss son of a bitches, and they're ready to fight each other. That comes with just playing each other all the time.
But I like that more in hockey when you're doing it over 82 games. Yeah. I think that's one of the things that makes hockey nice. But for the NFL and a 17-game schedule, no.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Do you see any evolutions in the NFL draft coming up? I mean, we see right now like how things change with running backs. We almost never see first-round running backs anymore. 5 years or more from now, you think it's going to change any more in that, where you see the first round concentrated on any 2 or 3 positions, linemen, quarterbacks, and receivers or corners, or you think it's kind of we got to where we are and that's about where we're going to stay?
I think it's going to remain kind of quarterback, left tackle, defensive end centric draft if you have elite players at those levels. Running backs, because of the role now where teams use 2 or 3, sometimes even 4 in the same game. Mm-hmm. There's not many 4-down or 3-down running backs anymore in the NFL, so I don't think that'll be a little change. Maybe an elite receiver here and there, like we had with Chase and whatnot, but I think it'll be those four
Or
primarily.
we got a tall, physical corner that can cover a wide receiver, a speed guy, somebody like a Deion Sanders or something out there. Maybe you might want to do that because teams passing, you got to have something to stop it.
Yeah, for sure. I put corners in that group, especially good lengthy corners that are 6 foot, 6'1", 6'2", which is a different model than it used to be. Your corners used to be 5'9", 5'10", and so that's changed a lot.
Daryl Green.
Daryl Green wasn't very big, right?
No,
Daryl Green, 5'10", 5'9", or
5'8",
something.
man,
Fastest guy in the league. Yeah. Anthony, I'm gonna put you on the spot. NFC, 4-1, 4-3, 2-1. Your top four teams you can go 1-4, 4-1. Doesn't matter.
In the NFC.
NFC.
I'm gonna go 1-4. I think top is Tampa Bay, Arizona, and then after that, I'm gonna say I hate saying this, Dallas, LA.
Oh, okay. No Green Bay. No Green Bay.
Yeah,
no, what's wrong with me? Well, you know what? I don't know. I think if you do replace, you can replace LA with Green Bay. Yeah.
Sure. Okay. So you think LA might be a number 5 then?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. You don't think the Eagles could hang with none of those teams? You don't think the Vikings could hang with none of those teams? 49ers. You don't think the 49ers could?
Especially not them, though.
Okay. All right. AFC top 4.
God, I think that's almost a more wide open. Kansas City.
Number 1 is the NFC better.
I think at the top, yes.
Okay.
Honestly.
Okay.
I mean, a lot of the AFC teams. I mean, Kansas City is explosive, but they've shown big weakness this year. Out of the Central or whatever the divisions are now, Cincinnati is probably the best team in that division right now. Beyond that, there's just really nobody that you look at and say, yeah, they're really expected to make a deep run and possible Super Bowl threat.
We were talking.
I put New England in that top 4 now, the way they've been playing.
Buffalo.
And yeah, it's probably Buffalo. Those 4.
It's still
we talk about it on the channel all the time. Like, man, Kansas City's underperformed. They've underperformed. You know what their record is?
7-4.
7-4.
That's underperforming.
You think it is
for them for what their expectations were?
I don't see it that way. I think the expectation is so damn high on them to go 15-2, and that's not realistic for that team. It's really not. That defense, they're not even a top. I don't even think they're top half of the NFL in defense. I really don't. Their defense is struggling mightily, and they have to outscore teams. They cannot win a game 14-10. They can't do it.
They're built very much like Don Coryell's Chargers were back in the 80s. And the one thing where I thought that they would excel is they improved at defense. This year, they've kind of reverted back to what they were, 2-3 years ago on that side of the ball. But, I thought they've gotten better there. I really like Matthew. I think he's one of the most dynamic defenders in the game.
If he keeps his head in the game, the problem with him is he's really, really outspoken. You see, I like his zest for the game, but sometimes his big mouth gets in his way a lot of times. And then, how many times has he gotten kicked out of games in the last 3 years? Twice, right?
Twice. I couldn't say.
Is Tennessee a team that you could take, and if you said, okay, well, if we replace Tannehill with some of the other signal callers we got in the league, that they would be one of those top 4 teams in the AFC?
I think defensively, they're a very well-coached team. They've had injuries on the outside with their playmakers. So, Potentially. I think they're a threat against anybody still, regardless.
Right.
I mean, but of course, obviously losing Derrick Henry really hurts them.
Yeah.
How about the Colts? The Colts are so hard to read. The Colts, to me,
They run and they run and they run, and then Wentz will
but
throw an interception in his own
right.
end
Then,
zone.
then Wentz throws one through the goalpost and gives the other team 2 points or something. Yeah,
I think Frank Reich is an underrated coach for sure.
I agree with
coach
that. We like him on our channel. We like the Colts. I actually like the Colts better than I do the Titans on the channel. The Titans are such one-dimensional, but man, like you say, Wentz has got to get his head out of his ass. That's the only way they can play. I mean, he is so much better than Tannehill. But my God, sometimes he does some of the stupidest shit I have ever seen.
Hey, Rob, if you took the Giants and the Jets rosters and combined them and made an all-star team out of an all-star team, what the best you could do between those two teams? What do you got?
What do you have?
Yeah,
probably 8-8 or 9-8.
I don't think they're 500. I don't think they are. All right, who would you start at quarterback? Really? I mean, really? Jones is on the banana peel on the way out the door, and Wilson's played like shit. I mean, really?
They got Glennon playing today.
That would still be there. Joe Flacco.
Oh, Flacco.
Flacco.
But you know what? Probably so. He's been the steadiest of the three. Yeah. He really is. And
here's the deal. New York has a lot of very good young talent. They could be a team that is good in 2-3 seasons. But I like Salah as a coach. I think he's going to be a good coach, but he's learning too. Young coach, new head coach, young team. I think their future's a lot brighter than the Giants for sure.
Oh yeah. I think Jones could be out after this year, but that every week you say that shit, the Giants come out and then blow somebody off the field or either hold the Eagles to 6 points, and it's like, how in the hell do they do that? I mean, it's smoke and mirrors, boys. It really is. I mean,
it is, and I don't know how much that team loves Joe Judge. I don't know if you ever see, sometimes they'll show the NFL coaches talking to their teams after the game. Look at Salah and the way his team responds to him post-game, and Joe Judge, it was like crickets. I saw him speak one time. I don't think he's popular there.
Me and Keith watched the Bears play the Buccaneers 4 or 5 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
And each time Fields was playing, each time Fields would come off the field, he'd be like this.
Nobody around him.
Empty seat on both sides of it. Just walked off the field. Not a head slap, not, okay, kid, come over here to me or nothing.
It was a 3 and out.
Tom Brady is 43 friggin' years old. He comes up off the field after he scored a touchdown. Coach greets him. What's his O coordinator? Byron Leftwich. Byron Leftwich comes over, pats him on the shoulder, hands him a
iPad.
iPad. Yeah, a tablet or whatever it is, sets him down and says, okay, now look, am I wrong here when I say that if you've got a young quarterback, I don't give a damn if he's been playing for 8-10 years. The first thing you do, you set him on the bench and at least show him what he did wrong or show him what he did right. Do you agree?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They're especially with a rookie. I don't know if Chicago's OC is up top or on the sideline, but
he wasn't on the phone either. He wasn't on the phone either. Yeah, he didn't have a phone either.
You're either on the headset looking at the iPad or the coach is over there with you. I think that's vital to a young quarterback.
And Keith will tell you, we were texting back and forth. Yeah. The kid was like this.
Yeah, he was on the bench all by himself.
All by himself. Not saying a word, no headset, no phone, no pad, no tablet, no paperwork, nothing. And I mean, he sat there 5 minutes, solid 5 minutes. Nobody said a word to him.
No, you have to constantly be coaching and teaching. And I'll compare it to high school when, and obviously as a run heavy coach, I don't talk to the quarterback as much as the offensive lineman, but the offensive linemen are down after every series. We have the whiteboard out. We're going over shades up front, what they're doing. Are they stunting? Are they slanting? How we adjust our blocks every fucking series. And you have to do that to make kids.
And if you're getting paid to do it, and this is your job for a living, I would think you would have to do it tenfold. Be like, okay, look, I've got this from this angle. We got it from another angle. We got it from a different angle. And then what do you see here? And that kind of shit. But it just astounds me to watch that team. I get so frustrated watching the Bears play because I just know they are clueless. They are just
and at that level too. I mean, first of all, there's only so many basic coverages, right? You're going to have palms, which is a 2-read coverage,
or zero, or one blitz with a blitz, whatever.
So there's only so many coverages, but the difference in the NFL is how teams disguise it. They might show a 1 high safety, then roll to cover 2,
or play 1-on-1 with the rest playing zone, and then you just pick him up wherever he's at. Yeah, you can so many ways they can play defense out there because it's 11 athletes. It's not just 11 players on the field.
You're right, and that's key. You have to go over. Okay, this is what you're getting pre-snap, but look how they roll the coverage here. Exactly. They have the safety rob.
We put this guy in motion. 95% of the time, that means man coverage. But if you watch the other guys, you notice nobody moved when we moved 2 or 3 guys. Only one moved. All right, that's a single coverage there or 1-on-1 coverage, and the rest are playing like a light zone, like a light 5 zone or something. So
and that's base stuff. You always motion to see if the secondary will adjust, to see if they roll or chase.
Yeah.
But even beyond that, though, you can do that, and you can still vary. You can still check your coverage. So it's really important that the quarterback always recognizes how certain pre-snap looks translate into what happens post-snap by formation, by movement, all that. I mean, it's complex, and for a rookie, especially in the NFL, you have to constantly be in their ear explaining and ask. And beyond explaining, what did you see here, or why did you make this?
And let them explain it to you, and then be like, okay, after that, say, look, this is what I see. This is what I think you need to do.
Basic coaching. Yeah.
And if they're hedging the game and you see what it is right there, they should be able to tell you where they messed up if they did mess up. Yeah, that kind of stuff. And see Brady just handed everything all the time when he comes off the bench. I mean, okay, we just put a 40 spot up on Chicago, and they're still handing friggin' paperwork and stuff or phone, and this kid sitting on the sideline. I'm like, come on.
And even the play calling and the audibles, because that's most NFL teams, I would think, exclusively call 2 plays for every down. It's a run play and a pass play, or they may have a situations pass play that is checked based on the coverage. We don't do that shit. If our play calls are simple and that's a play we're going to run, so we might say our play call would be slide to rifle right 64, and that's our play call. NFL play calls are a script,
And if you had yourself a senior that was really, really just sharp on things and be like, okay, look, we're playing, like you say, rifle right, and you could see 3 linebackers. If they play, let's say a 3-man front, which you don't see a 3-man front much in high school.
Not our offense, no. Not our offense, no.
Not against your offense. You don't see many 3-man defense fronts. Most time 4-man, maybe 5. But if they're playing 2,
often 6, Rob.
They play 6 defensive linemen.
6 men up on the line. It will be linebackers walked up.
We
would always typically see an 8-man box.
Yeah. And if you see them leaning one way or the other, you can always say, give the leeway to the run to the quarterback and say, well, okay, lean left, whatever, or whatever they would call it if you want to call it a 2 or 4 or.
Yeah, there's very, very few high school quarterbacks I've ever trusted to do that.
Really?
What we would do there, say we want to run trap. So if we're under center, our set might be doubles 50 check with me. So that means the quarterback will go up there and 50 trap is a trap to the right side. So if he has
very, very seldom y'all ran zone blocking. It was always one-on-one.
We run zero zone in our
Oh,
offense.
really?
So the way that would work, just so you know, so the quarterback goes up and what he's reading are the 2 inside techniques. So in that situation, we want to run trap to the 3 technique because that's an easier kick for the backside guard. So if he goes up there, we have 50 called and the front side, the nose tackles in a shade offset of the center. And then backside, we have a 3 technique. He's going to go kill, 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 and that tells them it's 51. So we'll trap the other side.
So pretty much, it's guard chasing guard on the 3.
Well, yeah. So the way that would work with the 1 technique, you're going to block back with the center, and then the front side guard would go linebacker.
He's going to take care of the end.
Huh?
Well, the one that's coming out, that's going to be lead block. He's going to get not the nose guard, but he's going to get the.
No, we wouldn't even block the end there. So we take the play side, we take the guard up to linebacker, the tackle. That end can run 3. Then we're going to kick the 3 technique, which is where which would be a defensive tackle.
Yeah.
So we don't even care about blocking the end in that case.
Right, exactly, because you're just trying to run it through that gap right there. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I know a little about football. I actually helped coach some football years and years and years ago, and then they asked me to try to referee, but I couldn't do that. That's something I can't do. My eyes won't focus in like. I know some other people the same way. They like I can't focus on what's one part or something. It's like it's weird, but I can't.
You put up with a lot of stuff, and I'm not really a dick to officials ever, unless they're really bad.
Yeah.
I mean, you try. They're humans. They're doing a job. They get paid for it, but they don't get paid a lot. And there's good crews, and there's terrible crews, and there's crews of guys that are over the age of 70 that can barely move and should still be doing it.
Right.
But there's not a lot of young people that get into officiating, so you try and give them a benefit of a doubt. But there's some that I've run across that are just they can be dicks too. With one guy this year, some of them are really big about. You have to stay out of off the sideline, so you have.
Off the white part of the line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And some of them, they'll always say, coach, make sure you're back. Yeah. And every team has a get back coach that is only responsible for saying, guys, get back all game.
Right.
We had one guy this year that's like, listen, this is my area. And if you're in there and I'm coming down, I'm going to run over you. And it's like, and you just look at him and you're like, shut the fuck up. You're not. And our head coach there this year, he's like, well, I'm 265. I'm bigger than you. That's probably not going to happen.
Now,
but it's again, you work with them, and when you have guys like that, you're just like, okay, we got to be careful.
And what would you say your record was again?
Huh?
The record again this year was
6-4.
6-4.
Which is pedestrian based on some other places I've coached, but you got to remember
they are.
The last time this school had a winning season was 1996. So it's a pretty big deal.
Oh, they went 25 years.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Are they getting their quarterback back next year?
Yeah, but that's not important in that offense. Our quarterback was 5'7".
I was going to say, do they throw the ball over 5 times in a game?
Yeah, but our quarterback ran for more yards than he threw for this.
Okay. How many average passes in a game? 15? 10?
No. Usually it's if it's a good game, if it's a really good game,
5.
No more than 5.
But
I think the most we threw this year in one game was 16 times.
16. Okay.
And that was our worst loss. So that tells you what we look to do.
Yeah. So he's never thrown for any like 250 or 300. Never, nothing.
I think in that game he threw for 161.
Probably a couple INTs.
No.
No, good.
He took care of the ball pretty well. I think he threw only 2 or 3 interceptions.
Did you go to every game? Did you go to every? You didn't coach this year, right?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, I thought you said you were giving it up.
No, I stepped into a lesser role, but I still coached. I was up top every game this year.
Oh, okay. So you'll keep doing that next year.
I don't know. I think I just might finally retire for good, man. It's been 34 years.
Okay.
So we'll see. If I did coach again, it would probably be later when I retire from my day job, which is 3 years away.
So you might stay up top for 2 or 3 more years then. If you go,
I don't think I'll be involved at all next year. I think it's just time to take a break.
Really?
So,
okay.
Anthony, do you have any thoughts on what we're going to get out of this CBA negotiation and MLB?
In baseball?
Yes.
Half a baseball season next year.
Oh, really?
That long?
Wow.
I'm worried. I think the owners are playing it like I think they are playing it like we have all the chips and we're not going to budge and we're going to make the players blink.
Wow, well, that's such a surprise to us. We think by January 5th they'll have it on the table already.
Yeah, I thought it would be a quick thing.
I think so. I still think so. Now let me ask you this: DH, will that get just completely wiped out, or will they play in both leagues?
I hope it's universal because pitchers now, they were never great hitters, but now even less because they're always working on their mechanics or whatever.
Right.
So
right. Runner at second, will that stay? Huh?
No.
I think the Players Association wants it done. They want to do a 4 extra innings, 4 innings, and then so to be 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th inning implemented. What do you think about that? If they go 4 extra innings, no one scores. Most time it don't go that far anyway.
If they did have to do something like that, I could accept that. Otherwise, I don't like.
But not in the 10th inning. Not in the 10th inning.
No,
I agree. 3 batter rule. Like it, don't like it.
I like it because I'm a big pace of play guy. I don't like the fact that games that used to take 2 hours and 15 minutes now take over 3. I mean, a pitcher's duel now takes 3 hours, for God's sake. Yeah. So I'd go even further. I'd say if you start an inning on the mound, you finish it. And if you get shelled, too bad. I know that will never happen, but
all right, let me ask you this. We've proposed it on the channel. We think this is a lot of the way we discussed it anyway. Two lefties coming up for the Angels, and then Mike Trout, and you got a left-handed pitcher, and he gets through the first 2, and then all of a sudden he's hurt. He can't pitch to Mike Trout, and they have to take him out. To me, I think it should be automatic 10-day on the disabled list. Agree, disagree? What do you think? What should they do to that team, to that player, if he's hurt so bad he can't face that third batter? Should he just be taken out of that game and maybe one other game, or do you think he should be forced? I don't pay him; it's fine, but I think he should be forced to go on the 10-day disabled list if you're removed from a game like that. What do you think?
It's a good question. I definitely don't want to see that rule exploited. So you can.
What if the other team still brings in another left-hander to replace him?
See, and that's kind of what you run into. That's a great point, Keith, because now you're saying, well, we weren't doing it to get this advantage or whatever. So I don't know. I think that's something where maybe if maybe if any player leaves a game injured, I think if you did that, you'd have to apply it across the board. So maybe they have to sit 3 games.
Maybe 3 days or something, but
3 or 5 or something. Yeah, at least don't make it to where he's coming out high-fiving and then going back there playing cards in the back and be like, okay.
Yeah, but I mean, we still have that shit in the NFL where in a late game or if a team's going hurry up and the defensive tired, someone will
lays down. See,
I mean,
now
how do you really effectively police that?
Well, there is ways. Set them down for 3 plays. Set them down for 3 plays in the NFL. Do you think it would stop it? 3 plays now. It does 3 consecutive plays.
well,
you got somebody.
They could put somebody that just rotated in and have him do it.
Yeah, I don't think that would stop it because, like, if you have your nickel back do that, and then you have another decent defensive back. I mean, if it's Chase Young's never going to do that.
Right.
So,
and then the thing of it is, if it's an actual injury, you hate to penalize a guy that's if you have, what do you call that when you a hamstring or not a hamstring, but when you start you're you don't have enough water in you.
Dehydration.
Yeah, that kind of shit. When you cramp up shit, you hate to. That's the problem with anything like that. You hate to go after the guys that are actually playing by the rules. But this day and age, with as much money as flying out there, ain't none of them above playing below the fucking rules. That's the thing.
Let's be honest. I mean, they say if you're not cheating, you're not trying, and I'm not going to advocate that. Right. But I think every coach, given the opportunity, will exploit the rules to their favor if they can to some degree.
Exactly.
Which brings up more points with baseball because, we got the sign stealing thing where, the technology that's involved that people can use to their advantage in that. You've got the checking the pitcher for their substances and stuff on their hats, their gloves, their, uniforms every inning. I think some pitchers were against doing that. I think the main hang-up still for the negotiations are the service time issue and the arbitration issue, as far as when they're eligible, how many years and all that kind of thing.
Well, and that's one thing that the owners exploit a lot is the major league service time to avoid having to pay arbitration for another year, and that needs to be tightened up for sure. In terms of, I don't know for the life of me why they just don't let pitchers and catchers wear earpieces and they call the pitches from the bench. So you eliminate all that science. I mean, it's not tradition. Well, who cares? In the NFL, they used to shuffle in plays with receivers. Now they have earpieces.
You used to tell each one of them and have a fifth receiver or fourth receiver. Play or running back, whatever. Yeah.
You can preserve the integrity and the traditional aspects of the game and still add a modern touch. Like, what do you guys think about the automated strike zone? I'm for that too.
Well, like computerized.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fine with it if the technology allows it to be accurate,
for sure.
Right.
You got to be able to sketch so it measures where that ball is exactly when it crosses the front plane. And
then you got to move it, I guess, for each size of the person.
Yeah.
You can't have Aaron Judge and Jose Altuve with the same strike zone.
Right.
Yeah, and is it where they are when the pitches get delivered? Because they'll be more crouched down at one point, and then when they might crouch down later or stand up more.
Yeah, it's weird, but I guess
like Pete Rose, he used to be like bent way over, right?
Oh yeah, his head was almost over the plate when he was swinging.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was wild. I was going to ask you something else. Oh, shit. What was I going to say? We were talking about baseball.
Up to 7 inning doubleheaders?
Yeah, well, you like it. I know you said
we
love it.
Only because pitchers now are so taxed that I think that helps. And you know what? I still like seeing a complete game, and a good pitcher can go 7 innings. So
Yeah, but I don't like it. Like it last year, they didn't get counted as a no hitter. That's bullshit.
I mean, I guess with the
You know
length of
that?
games
What do
and
you think
stuff,
about that?
I think you can do that with an asterisk by it.
Yeah, I think so too.
I mean, what if you just had all games at 7 innings? I mean, as far as time, it would never happen. But because
I wouldn't like that. I wouldn't like
the tickets and everything. But
well, we'd get our 2 hour and 15-minute games back if they did.
Well, I still find a way.
When I go to the game, I'm not in a hurry to leave.
No, and that's a great point. And I think that's the difference in TV. Baseball is not TV friendly when it's 3.5 hours at the ballpark.
If
you don't care.
That much money
Right. Because you're not planning something at 11:15 after you get home at night. You don't have anything planned except pull up in the driveway. Hope you can walk in the house without staggering if you don't drink so much beer, and make sure. I hope your wife or girlfriend can unlock your fucking door for you so you can get in the house. But other than that, it's all good.
Well, what about for speeding up the game? What about here's one thing I kind of proposed. I think at another point is if you're the batter, you get in the box and keep your ass there unless you're injured, until the bat's over. Because think about it, there used to be one Mike Hargrove, the human rain delay. Now each team has 12 of those guys.
Yeah,
we'll just say maybe tell the hitter, you better be ready within
no more Garcia
15 seconds, because the pitcher, if he throws a pitch, then I'm calling it. It's a strike. No matter what.
No more Garcia Parra. No more every pitch. No more Garcia Parra.
And you know what? And you can do it that way. It's 15 seconds to throw a pitch. If the pitcher doesn't do it, it's a ball. If the batter's not in the box when that 15-second comes and the pitcher throws it, if it's a strike, call it a strike.
Should you limit how many times they can throw to first base?
I go back and forth on that because that's still part of the game. But stolen bases this isn't like the dead ball era. Stolen bases is a huge part of the game anyway. I'd maybe like to see more of that. So maybe
I would love for it to get back to where they run. That's why I don't like smaller ballparks. If you go do anything, I don't care.
Put a line out there and say you can't throw over there unless the base runner puts a foot across this line or something like that.
Then that's when you got then the pitcher's got to be looking at him so much and playing. I don't. It's crazy shit. And
that's a rule I think that it's hard to mess with because it might unbalance the game.
Yeah, and then how many times do you see the pitcher get himself in a load of trouble by throwing the ball over the first baseman's head, doing stupid shit? So often they make their own mistakes doing the crazy shit.
And I don't think that they should try to eliminate the defensive shifts either. I mean, defensive players should be able to play wherever they want. I mean, they have some rules with the gloves that they can use in different spots. First baseman's gloves can only be used if you're over in that area. But
I agree with that. And you know what? You want to fix the shift, put it on the batters.
Smart manager. Bunt the ball. Bunt the damn ball down the line. Hell, Bryce Harper got a double bunt down the left field line one time last year because nobody was within 80 feet of where he bunted it. He just hit it down the line.
Yeah. And I kind of agree with that, Brian. I would like to limit how much you can shift maybe, but if they're not going to do that, then you know what? As a hitter, work on your mechanics and learn to go opposite way or bunt.
Well, fewer.
I don't care if all 8 players are on one side of the diamond. I'm like this about it. If you got such a batter that's got to hit it that way, that's his problem. Because I don't feel sorry for anybody if that's going to try to overpower when you got 6 guys on one side of the field.
Well, but that's
never
based on what's sexy in the game now, and that's the
it's home run. That's a home run. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you're not going to even get a double. You're not even going to get a double off a wall when you got that many out there playing that way, because the right fielder or left fielder, they're right up against the wall. They're going to play right up, short field and all this shit, kind of like softball.
That's another thing that, when you have more scoring, more homers, you have more pitching changes, more, more strategy and more delays probably because, pitchers aren't wanting to give up the home runs and stuff. So that lengthens the game out. All those things lengthen your game out, and they do want to sell the game. They do want the offense. They want the home runs in it. But then, on the other side, you do have things there that lengthen the game all the way around.
Well, have you guys ever watched T20 cricket?
Oh, they last 3 days.
Never watched cricket.
No, not Test cricket, Rob. T20 cricket. T20 is just basically each team gets an at bat per se, and the game lasts about 2 to 2.5 hours. And
I haven't seen that. I've turned it on before. And they'll be like day 2 of this shit, and I'm like,
no, that's Test cricket. That's nobody watches Test cricket that has any sanity. But
can you imagine going to day 2 of a game? I mean, that's kind of like saying, well, the Cubs and the Dodgers. If you'd like tickets tomorrow, we're gonna start this game in the 6th fucking inning. Now, what the hell kind of bullshit is that?
Rob, do me a favor. Go on YouTube after and do T20 cricket and just watch a little bit of it. They actually have cheerleaders. They have explosions. It's fast paced. It's pretty cool.
Really, you like it?
I do, but my point there is in cricket, they have that inner circle. So they have a limit based on what stage of the game it is on where you can put your fielders, basically.
Oh, okay.
So maybe something like that where you can do a defensive shift in the last 3 innings of a game, maybe, or I don't know.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's
cool. Where I was going with that.
Okay. I didn't know, because you don't have foul balls in cricket. You can hit that son of a bitch anywhere, and that's pretty fun. Strikeouts, walks, and home runs are what the game has become, with much less defensive action in the field. Adds up to more boredom in the game. Yeah, you're right, Apple Brian. A team like the Royals back in the mid '80s, along with the Cardinals, we need some more World Series like that. You guys remember Cardinals and Royals in '85?
85.
That was a hell of a series, man. That's what we need. We need more guys who can run like the wind. Willie Wilson, Willie McGee, all those guys.
Vince Coleman.
Yeah, hell yeah.
But that's actually maybe an argument for just abolishing throwing to first, because that would increase the running game more and maybe more hit and run. I don't know. Again, that's a rule that's hard to play with.
If you had a coach or a manager that was like, okay, look, in our farm system, let's not go after the guys that are capable of hitting 40 home runs and striking out 200 times. Let's go after the guys that are capable of hitting 305, 310, maybe strikes out 30, 40 times, and might hit us 15 home runs. I really think there's a place in the game, even in 2022, for a team like that, especially if you got good pitching that can keep you in the game. Because, I mean, very few teams have 3 or 4 300 hitters anymore. It just don't happen.
No.
It just doesn't happen. Your power hitters are 220, 230. It sucks, man. It's just
you look back and good morning, Frank. Back in the day, like Gorman Thomas and Dave Kingman used to laugh at them because they'd get their 40 whatever home runs, and then they'd be like, yeah, but he struck out 190 times and he hit 250.
And their on base percentage is probably under 30.
But now that's a norm.
Everybody's like that now.
That's a norm now. That's right. Frank, our prayers are out to you, my friend. Frank learned Friday he's in the beginning stages of MS. So, So Frank, look, my friend, keep your mind and pace going. Keep some. Hey, look, if I don't brag on the channel, but hell, if you got to sit here and watch my ass for 6 hours in a day just to keep your mind running, do that shit. Because I always have good guests on here. Anthony, Keith, Harris with Little Bitch. If you've never seen Little Bitch, you need to come see Little Bitch. Oh, that's his cat. That's his fucking cat. Yeah, that's little.
Hey, for a second, I thought you said, "Yeah, Harris, he's a little bitch."
No. Well, sometimes he can be, but hell, we all fucking can be.
His little kitten goes Freddy Krueger on him.
Yeah, Tim comes on. And then Matt Sharver, Michael P., they all come on pretty often. And then if you've not seen Paul Gaudier, if you've never met him before.
Oh, yeah, that was neat the other day.
Oh, my God. Friday. I had him on Friday with me. And he lives in the Shetland Islands. And I was asking, I was like an 11-year-old. So what time does the sun come up where you live? And what time does the sun go down where you? It was like 10 a.m. and 3:30. I'm like, oh shit, no shit, 5.5 hours a day. So yeah, he was really cluing us in on some stuff. It's on one of my past videos from Friday. Great, man. It was
5 hours a day of sunlight.
5.5 right now is what they get.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but in the summertime they get 23.5, 24.
That's even worse.
Like he said, hell, you can go to bed anytime you care to then. But shit, that's pretty wild. Yeah, but can you imagine if you don't get up at 10 o'clock?
Did you ask him about their greatest export, the Shetland ponies?
We got to talking about oil. The gasoline cost there is right at
gosh, that was terrible.
$9 a gallon is what they're paying right now for gas.
It's like 3 times what we're doing.
Yeah, they're paying 3 times what we're paying. And he was like, but bread and stuff over when we go to England or UK is a lot higher. And I'm like, oh good God. I mean, geez. So their cost of living has to be fucking really high. And he only goes to the mainland twice a year. That's it. He lives on the island itself.
Yeah.
So,
well, and then he had his daughter coming in, I think.
His daughter and his son both. And he's a big hockey fan. They got minor league hockey up there where they live.
In the Shetland Islands?
Shetland, right above not Ireland, but Scotland, right above Scotland. Yeah. It's cool, man. He says he's a half mile from the water, half mile from the sea. So I don't know if he's on the north side, east, which side, but he's only a half mile away from it. He said he can walk to it. So it was an awesome talk, man. I really enjoyed it. And all I asked him, I said, just promise me you'll come back on the channel again. He said, oh yes. And he loves a YRL, he said, and he's got his own league coming up. He's got his own league coming up racing, and he wants everybody to create their own card, and he wants to get a league going like road course or something. So yeah, you taking a look where he lives?
Yeah. So yeah.
It's cool. It's cool as shit. Yeah. Let's see. Right there.
So the northernmost part of the United Kingdom.
Yeah, he's way up there. He's right across from Norway.
You're going to have to find him on GeoGuessr one day, Rob.
GeoGuessr actually gave out on me. GeoGuessr.
Did it?
That's how far he is from the blue one or the red one down there is Alan Shaw down there. And then the red one way up there is where Paul Gaudier.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's up there in that little island. I'm like, damn, bro. But yeah, I was the first time I ever. Oh shit! That was the first time I ever remember. Oh yeah. Oh, you're gonna have me
dizzy, Rob.
You're gonna have these problems with live network, and especially on the Jabroni network. Look right above your head, Anthony. On the video.
It's hovering right above you.
PJ,
the Jabroni network sign. Oh, you just hit it with your head.
Yeah. So,
the mark.
Yeah, thank PJ for setting that up for us again too. Anthony, how did your high school football team season end up? I'd ask earlier, but hey, Frank asked.
Yeah, I don't mind talking about it again. It was a great year. No, Frank, we ended up 6-4, which was our first winning season in 25 years. So very, very happy for the kids. And what was really actually cool, when we first got there after a home game, we'd leave and literally we'd be out of the parking lot in 10 seconds. This year, the school was out, the community was out, and sometimes you'd have to sit and wait 20, 25 minutes in the parking lot to be able to get out.
Was pride there. That was pride there.
No, that was cool as hell. So, yeah, thanks.
Every second you had to sit there and wait. Did you have anybody run for 1,000 yards, even close to it?
Yeah, that kid I showed a clip of on the channel, I think, before Kendre.
Okay.
He missed. He actually missed 3 games. He only played in 7 games, but he ran for 305 our last game, and he needed 215 to get 1,000. So he ended up with like 1,100 yards rushing.
Wow, sharp, man. Oh my God, that was
good season.
Oh hell yeah! 8 games, 1,100 yards. Damn right.
I think he averaged 155 yards per game.
That's awesome. That's awesome. What kind of defense did they have? Did they have pretty good defense?
Not part here. Here's part of the deal with high school football now, and I think in a lot of places, our defense is better because coaches run schemes that their players aren't really capable of running. Like everyone wants to run spread, So if we played a 4-2, basically a 4-4 or a 4-2-5. And we'd adapt the outside linebackers to drop as safeties and adjust to stuff like that. So, yeah, not too much blitzing.
How often did you blitz?
Not very much. Very, very limited blitzing. We actually, our right defensive end was tied for the 4A state lead in sacks with 16.
That's pretty damn good. What, 11 games, 12 games?
10.
10 games. Oh, okay.
So we had defensive line was pretty solid. Linebackers, which is always a struggle there, getting kids that could play. We had a couple that were pretty good. Okay. And our secondary was very thin, but the top guys were also, pretty solid. So, yeah, it was, not an overwhelming defense, but a defense that didn't break very much. And was
10 INTs total or not near that many?
Huh?
10 INTs total or not near?
Oh, shit, I'd have to look. I think we ended up, I know our leader had 3. I think we ended up with
probably not quite
7
10
total. 7.
Yeah, probably a little less than 10. Yeah, that makes sense. Frank says, keep leading those young men. Outstanding job.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. Yeah, and great kid. I mean, inner city school, I've talked about it, is 96% minority, but rough environment for a lot of those kids. But, man, as enjoyable as anywhere I've ever coached in 34 years. The kids that come out and play are really super salt of the earth kids, man. And they appreciate it because – they don't get anything handed to them, so they're willing to put in work, man. Really, really good group of kids.
One final thing, your lock of the day. You're saying this team will cover. Any of them that I can rename any of them that you care for me to. Any of the weekend. Colts -7, Vikings. Oh no, I'm sorry. Lions +7.5. Dolphins 2.5. Bucks 9.5, Eagles 6.5, Bears +7, Chargers +1.5, Rams -12, Washington football team +1.5, Ravens -3, 49ers -2.5. No, you took Seahawks +2.5. I'm sorry. Chiefs -9.5, and the Bills -3. Which one do you like? Which one do you like?
I'm going to go with my unpopular Seahawks pick.
Unpopular
because I was the only one that picked them, right?
You were.
Okay, I'm going to go with that. I'm going to be bold, Rob. Bold.
Yeah, that it could be good.
Either bold or stupid, one of the two. We'll see.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
Another thing with baseball that was just real quick. I mentioned the service time and the arbitration eligible years. There was talk about putting free agency on an age, like 29 years old or something like that, where they'd be free agents. I don't know how that would.
That'd be tough to do, wouldn't it? That'd be tough to do.
It would eliminate the manipulation of service time, but it would also penalize a kid like Wander Franco or Tatis Jr. Just because you weren't good enough to play at an elite level until you were 25 and someone else was 20. Why should they have to wait that extra time?
Yeah. How about the situation with Wander Franco?
Okay, Frank.
Do you think?
Take care, Frank.
Do you think Tampa was smart signing him now, or do you think it's a huge risk signing him at this age? Because personally, I've told most of the people on the channel say it's idiotic to sign him to a 10-year deal now. I'm totally 180 the other way. If he ends up becoming a player that you think he's going to become, he's going to be worth twice that damn much money in 5 years.
Padres did the same to Tatis, and everyone lauded that. I mean, I think, and Tatis had a bigger body of work when he was signed, but I think Franco has shown enough, and he's been regarded as the best prospect in baseball for 3 seasons running, that I think it's a good investment, honestly.
I think it's great.
And you know what? If at some point, I think they're going to end up trading him anyway, because that's just what they do.
And the fact is, they've actually spent money this offseason. They've spent the 6th most money so far in the offseason. That's crazy, but they have. They bought pitchers and stuff. They're wanting to win. So looks like it could be interesting if we get a season in. Let's hope so. Keith, Anthony, thank you guys for coming on this morning. Man, I tell you what, I love talking football, but it's just around the corner this baseball season, Anthony.
Well, maybe not. If Anthony was saying,
let's hope so anyway. And then we want to do a what do you call it, Keith? What's that? A draft and all. What do you call it?
See, there was a buddy of mine that I was playing in a National League only auto draft league on CBS for years, about 10 years, and he passed away last March. But there's a guy at work I got to play in, and to find some other players, I had kind of opened up an invitation to the jabronis around here to join. But we always did National League only, and it was an auto draft on CBS.
And you could rank your players the way you
rank your players.
But it'll be an automatic draft. We won't have to sit there for 8 hours and wait for each person to draft a person. And we'll just do the ones, if Keith wants to, just everybody we know online for one league, and then maybe he'll do a league with some folks he knows at work or whatever. But
I'd be interested in that. Yeah, it'd be fun.
Yeah, I think it'd be a lot of fun. For Keith, for Anthony, my name is Rob. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We appreciate it. We go 2 hours every time, and I don't know how in the hell we do it, because we always have to think of something to start with, and then by the time 3rd minute comes out of our mouth, oh shit, you just don't know what the hell we're thinking. And then Ken Castro will be back this week, and he'll be talking about his porn stars again. So don't worry about it, guys. He will be back.
That was probably three hours of unfortunate broadcasting.
It was very, very sad. It was unfortunate, but we're going to have Ken back on again. We're going to let him explain himself a lot more, because boy,
I caught some of that. He is the Ginger Lynn fan, right?
Yeah. But he also took a friend to Canada with him that rides bikes with him. He calls him the horn dog. Now, I don't know if I necessarily call him that or not. He saw a gay bar and decided, I think I'm going to walk across the street.
Want to close on?
came back with an apple in his fucking mouth when he came back. I mean, I don't know if it was wax or real or what, but I can only fucking imagine. We talking leather pants and boots and shit come walking through the
Oh,
parking
kid
lot.
sat there munching on his egg and cheese sandwich.
Had a fucking apple in his mouth, and I can just imagine who fed him that son of a bitch. And I'm like, oh my god! And then, yeah. You gotta go back and watch part of that.
I was gonna say, I think you'd have to have been there for that because I'm trying to piece it together. Like,
Yeah, he went to Canada.
Oh,
They had-
there was
they
a lot
went
of
to
pieces.
they went to Montreal for this. They went to Montreal for this.
oh, this was on purpose.
Well, this guy liked it, I guess. I don't know what the hell I
Well,
would
there was a purpose. I don't know. Then
I don't know
things just
what
kind of
was-
unraveled for them once they got
purpose,
there.
around purpose, or off to the purpose. But yeah, we got. Like I say, we got to ask him some more questions.
I have an accidental story that relates to that, but
And that's what we got to get. You got to come on that same night. We can get Ken on. Oh my gosh, we got to ask him. Number one, okay, you interviewed 2 porn stars. Okay, tell us what that was all about. Then we're going back to his little friend that.
Yeah, that they went to Europe.
Oh yeah, he went to Europe and his
Ended up
wife
in the hospital, and his friend
Yeah,
left him
he
there to
had-
chase
he-
some ass.
Ken had something wrong with him. He was in the hospital. The guy fucking left him. To go partying and shit with other guys. I'm like, but he called him a horn dog. So I gotta figure out. I gotta do my studying a little bit better because I hadn't figured a horn dog out of this one yet. Because we, number one, we were so fucking laughing. We're all sober. Next time I probably got to have me a few beers with me too, and that's got to make it a lot more fun.
yeah, I was going to say that should be the cocktail hour for that.
Oh yeah, hell yeah! You got to have 4 or 5 beers, and then have about 4 hours to be able to sit down and just ask Ken questions, have Ken on here live, and then
You got to have some blues music playing in the background or something.
or at least porn music. Boom, 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 boom,
Or
boom.
what was that? What was that on the Police Academy? That bar, the Blue Oyster Bar.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that song that would always start. Da, 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 da.
Reno 911. Did you ever watch that?
I love that show.
Reno 911 officer. What was his name?
Officer, is it Dangle?
Yeah, Dangle.
Yeah.
Dangle. He comes running out of the boot shop. He goes, ha! And he's got white boots and he comes all the way up to his fucking knees. He's wearing shorts, tight as hell. And
Yeah,
then
he'd always wear Daisy Dukes.
yeah, and he looks over and says, and looks over and sees that his bike's been stolen, bicycle, not a motorcycle, bicycle's been stolen from him, and he's like, oh shit, and then he starts looking around for his bike. Oh my god,
That show was awesome.
Oh, and it's coming back. I'm hearing.
I heard that. Yeah.
Yeah, and if they do a comeback of that might be the funniest shit ever because you couldn't help but laugh. And then to end the show, we'll do this. But remember, what was the woman's name? The dark-haired woman. She was goofy as hell. Officer. She was the one who was going to marry the guy that chopped people up.
I can't remember. her
Terry, what's her name? Terry something. I can't think. Officer, I can't think of her name. But anyway, in her infamous words, were you looking it up?
Yeah.
Officer, let's see, Johnson was the blonde, the big boob blonde. Officer, Weigel.
Terry Weigel.
I believe her name.
Right,
was
so
She was a Playboy girl at one time.
yeah, but it wasn't Terry Weigel. It was something else. Weigel was her.
yeah, it was Deputy Trudy Weigel.
Trudy Weigel. Yeah, the one you talking about, Keith. She was the one. She was a Playboy and porn star, and she liked having snakes around her all the time. She was the one that wrapped snakes around her and shit, even when she did scenes and stuff. But that Trudy Weigel, the one that played on Reno 911, in her infamous words, she ended the show one time. Me and Darlene still to this day do this. And to all you assholes out there, F you, and fuck you. she act like that meant something totally different. No, and I'm like, oh my God. So me and my wife, sometimes we get pissed off at each other. She'll look at me and she'll say, Rob, F you. And that's so that's our little joke all the time when we do that shit. You guys gotta definitely catch her. Trudy is a trip. Trudy is a trip, and I like the black guy that was the cop on there too. He says he liked to sing. He was funny as shit, but every one of them played a good part because they would always it was always something funny on there. But he did commercials on radio. And he was like, I can sing, baby. It was so funny. It was so damn funny. Almost like a guy on the black guy that was a chef or whatever. What was his name?
On South Park?
Yeah. He died.
Oh, it was it was a well-known singer guy.
Yeah. Come on, baby. What was his name? What the hell was his name?
He was chef. Oh God damn.
What was his name? Because he would start singing and shit, and then all of a sudden it was funny. What was his name?
It was
Chef on South Park. South Park chef. Isaac Hayes. He was funny as shit. You couldn't help but laugh when he get going and stuff. And they're coming back with stuff too again. So that's another show that's coming back. They're gonna do the COVID-19 special. It's supposed to be a 3-hour thing, like a movie. And I'm like, oh my God.
You can only imagine what that'll be like.
Oh my Lord. You can only imagine the shit that they're gonna do on that. Y'all have a great day. Go Washington. I don't know if they're going to win or not, but let's hope so. Anyway.
I just don't feel it today.
Who's your home team, Anthony? The Raiders?
Huh?
Who is the team you like the most? The Raiders?
Vikings.
Oh, okay. They may pull it off today. Let's say that you didn't take them, but
well, I try not to bet with my heart, but
yeah. But they might be able to cover something.
Yes, they're still my
Lions.
NFL team of choice.
Yeah. So a Fran Tarkenton fan, are we?
That's actually why I started liking them. When I got into football after I came to America, Fran Tarkenton and I thought the Purple People Eaters was a cool nickname too. So.
Oh yeah, especially when the guy ran the wrong way and then threw the ball up in the crowd. That you can't fucking beat that one. What was his name?
That was not awesome, but apart from that,
Marshall,
that was pretty fucking funny though.
Marshall.
Yeah. Till we see you guys again. We might catch you for the finals this evening, 7:30, something like that. Let you know how we picked today, our overs and unders and stuff like that. Plus our college games this week. We will have. I'll have our totals. How we picked.
On that, but.
I don't think I did very well either. I think I did really bad. So we'll got to do better today. You all have a great day. God bless, and we will talk to you soon. Bye bye.